Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the lab. I have another lantern project. Well, this is actually not just another lantern project. This very important to me. We just had a family event here in town, an unfortunate family event. You can probably guess. But my uncle found this in his attic, and it was my grandfather's. So I'm beyond amazed that I'd never seen this, and I love it. I love it, and this ain't going nowhere. This is staying with me no matter what. But I want to get it all cleaned up, and so it'll stay cleaned up, and you wouldn't have to worry about cleaning it up again because this is where it stays, at least as long as I'm around. It's going to need a fuel cell, unfortunately. But we're just going to get it cleaned up, and there's some very interesting etchings on this globe, and I can't wait to get it cleaned up. So there's going to be many questions about what is written on this globe, and you will see. But so yeah, it needs a fuel cell. We'll look it over. I haven't taken the globe off or done anything. I mean, there's nothing underneath there. There's no burner or fuel cell, but we'll find one. We'll find one. I'm in no hurry because this ain't going anywhere. But let's check this thing out. You ready? I am. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see what this does. Is that the, okay? There's the thing right there. Okay. Wow. Look at this. Ooh, it barely fits in there. Oh, there's a bird. There's a dove. Two doves. Wow, what is this? So, I saw Gordon. I saw Gordon down here. And my uncle said that's a town right near where my grandfather and all that side of my family. Yeah, great. This says John F. Paul. And then there's looks like two doves, and it says Gordon, which I'm assuming means the town that he was in. I want to go clean this up. I'm going to do that right now, so my brain can get around that, and then we'll work on this. Yeah, cool. I'll be right back. So, wow, look at this. Wow, John F. Paul. Gordon. Wow. Hand etched. Amazing. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up for sure. I'm gonna have to look up his name in that town. Wow, that's beautiful. Great. Okay, well, this could use a little steel woolen and some little spots here. There's a couple things. All right. Well, okay. So mystery. The mystery begins. Wanted to know more about this. Very neat. All right. So let's start working on this thing. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Well, after doing a little bit of looking around, some very interesting things, folks. And you guys may be researchers. Maybe you can help me figure things out here. But so John F. Paul. There's a possibility that I may have found who this person is. And it's minutes from Gordon, the city of Gordon. So, this guy, if it is indeed him, John Frederick Paul, from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, which is about 15 minutes from where my whole mother's side of the family is from. And then 10 minutes on the other side of that town is the town of Gordon. So, yeah, I mean, who knows where people had, were living at the time when they did something like that. But look at, there's two doves. I'm freaking loving this thing. But apparently, so this guy was a staff sergeant for the Air Force in World War II. who went missing in action in April of 1943. His unit was the 376th Bomber Group Heavy, the 515th Bomber Squadron, and he went down over the Mediterranean Sea in Italy. Very interesting. I wonder if it's the same dude. Okay, well, this is great. I'm really enjoying this. I love doing research on things, and especially when it's an important thing like this, because this thing for forever, passed on from after me and everything, and so that story will go with us. I hope, but I'm hoping I can find. I wonder how the fuel cell goes out. I bet you. Okay, these are the eyes probably. It just goes on here and goes. I'm betting that's what it is. So I don't have any of this style before with that very large globe. I don't even know who made this. There's no markings on here. But by the way, this might be brass here on top. So I think I'm going to take this to the bench grinder and get rid of a lot of this surface rust. Yes. Okay. So yeah, you can see the underside there. This thing was in just a moist, humid environment is what it looks like to me. This is humidity stuff here. But I don't see any major issues except for needing a fount and a burner. This is enough for me. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. Let me go hit the bench grinder here, and we will continue. And yeah, I think that is brass. Judging by the cracks I'm seeing here, and also not magnetic. That magnetic. That no. So it's either copper or brass. That's what it looks like to me. But all right, so let's get this baby cleaned up. And I'm loving this. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't do the inside there. And I can't get to it anyway with the bench grinder. Well, I could get it there. Darn it all. Okay. Hold on a second. Be right back. Okay, so things are looking very nice here. I'm going to work on these wires. Why not? Right off the bat. I'm going to go the 180 grit nylon bit. And I'm going to work on these wires here. Just kind of clean them up a little bit more. Get to the areas that I couldn't get to with the bench grinder. There's lots of areas. But let's do that. Let's do that, and then we'll get the junk bit out and work on these other surfaces and find out what is that. What is that? All right, hold on a minute. So I think I'm going to try a little brasso. I want to bring out just a little bit more of this copper. It looks like copper. It's either copper or brass, one or two. But I don't want to bring it all the way back. I just want to bring it out a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. If this is even going to put a dent in it. Well, I want a little more than that. I wonder if some vinegar. Some vinegar will help a little. Maybe I'll try that. Just a little more. Well, a little bit more than that. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to go to the kitchen, throw a little vinegar on there. I'll be right back. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go at it with just a very 800 grit. 800 grit, one that's nicely softened and worn in. Try that a little bit. Vinegar really didn't make a bunch of difference except for the metal that was already exposed. Kind of brighten it up a little bit. So, let's see what this will do. It's almost looking like copper plated brass. Interesting. All right, I'm going to try the polish again now that we worked up some of the brass there. So like one spot like that looks like brass and then it looks like copper on top, which is interesting. Maybe that's just a shade of brass tarnish, maybe. Okay, there you go. That's what I wanted right there, just like that. Great. Okay, so yeah, just enough to show you what it is. Yeah, oh, I had you a little close up there. I do apologize. All right, now I've got to put a fresh 800 grit on, and I'm going to give this a once over, and we're pretty much done. Pretty much done. Where are my 800s? There's one. And I always keep my partials. They always come in handy when you want one that's already softened up. Alright, let's give this a once over and then we'll do a treating. Unless I find something in the meantime. Okay, so let me clean up my little mess here, and we'll throw some oil on this baby. By the way, if you do a lot of steel wooling, man, I'll tell you, this is great fun, and also a good way to get metal shavings off your workbench so they don't end up rusting all over your lantern. Boink. Science class. Boink, boink. Pretty cool. I still remember as a kid, would go out with on a beach. I'd go out with a magnet on a beach and collect all the kicked all the metal dust. And then do that. Play with a lantern and a big bucket of rust. Or not rust, but a steel. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All right. Now, let's do some treatment. So we got it all steel wool. I may have found a burner or a fountain for this thing. I'm not sure if a burner's connected to it or not. I also learned something. I talked to my uncle today, and part's gonna come off. And it's not, apparently, my grandfather's brother was also in World War II, and he flew bombers. He did not die in action, but maybe this gentleman was a friend of his, or a friend of both the boys. I think that's pretty interesting. All right. So I am still, apparently, that gentleman, my great uncle, wrote a book about his experience in the war. So he could have very well named this person. So I'm going to put out the rallying cry to relatives, see if I can get a copy of that. I might have a copy here, actually. I don't think so, though. I love lanterns with a history. I think it's very cool. So what I'm treating with here is, if you didn't see, boiled linseed oil with 10% kerosene mixed in. Okay, we are done. We're done with this thing for now until I can find a fount burner, and I'm not sure if I need some kind of seat for this, the bottom of this globe to sit in there. It's really hard to tell. It fits real nice. It's real nice down there, but maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. So the burner goes in the bottom, or the fount comes up from the bottom and inside and the outside, and I'm curious because, like I said, this is my first one of these models, and you've seen a lot of the other railroad stuff I got, so I don't have much. Okay, it's beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's come down and take a look. I'm looking at this bale. It's kind of bent a little funny, but maybe it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. All right, let's come on down here and take a look. Sorry about the voices there. Our ham radio's a little active right now. All right, here we are. Look at that. This is going to be a family heirloom forever and ever. Very cool. John F. Paul, God bless you. And sounds like they had a daughter in 42. judging by the little bio from what I found for him, if I have the right guy, that went down in a bomber in World War II. And it's probably a memorial to him, judging by the doves and the name of his hometown, which is like 2 miles from where my grandfather lived for his whole life. Okay, so folks, that is going to do it here for this wonderful project. You see how it's bent like that? You know how some of them Bravo lanterns have this little who knows, maybe it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. I'm not going to touch it. They just stay just like that forever and ever. That's cool with me. All right, folks, thank you so much. That is going to do it for today. And until next time, folks, don't you go changing.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.